Hi everyone, this is Jamshed Qureshi here, and in this video we will understand what is property binding in Angular. Property binding in Angular means binding the attribute value of an HTML element to the TypeScript variable. For example, we can enable and disable the click functionality of a button based on the property binding. So what is the syntax for property binding? Let's replace this paragraph for a div and say I want to set the value of this div. So if I write inner text and try to set the value to this variable title which we have in our component, let's try and do that. Now if I save it, let's see what happens. You see, nothing happens. So for property binding to work, we have to wrap our attribute value within square brackets like this. Now if we save it, and here we are, the value of title variable, which is Jamshed-Qureshi, that is reflected in our browser. So for any property binding, we have to make sure that our attribute is wrapped within the square brackets. Let's have a look at another example. Here we will take an input field and let's say we want to set the value of this input field. So again we have to write the square brackets and we will write the attribute value, which is value, and we will set it to title. Let's save and see what happens. So here you can see the value of title is set to the value of this input field. Now in the case of input field, if we remove the square brackets, let's see what happens. See, still we are getting the result, but the value is being set to the title, which is taken as a string and set for the input field. So if you want to set the value as a string, then you have to remove the square brackets, and if you bind it to the component variable, then you have to wrap it in the square brackets like this. Let's save it. And here we have it. So this is another way to do property binding for input fields. Let's have another look for one more example. This time we will take a button. We will give it some text. And let's say we want to enable and disable the click functionality of this button based on our component variable. So again we will write the square bracket and we will write the attribute which is disabled, and we will set it to one boolean variable. Let's check our component. We already have one variable created over here, that is JavaScript, which is set to true. So in that case this would be disabled. Let's save and see. You see, since our JavaScript variable is set to true, our button is disabled. In case we change it, let's do it in the TypeScript file. Let's make it false and save it. So you can see the TypeScript variable is binded to our attribute value of button. So in this example, we saw multiple ways in which we can bind our attributes to our TypeScript variable. So if you like the video, then please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.